Hi guys, I'm gonna take this off. So today I'm gonna be ranking the Rocky movies. I'm gonna rank these because they're my favorite series. So I believe in total there's God, uh, crap. This isn't going well for me. I believe there's 8 total Rocky films, and I'm gonna rank them in what I think 1 through 8. I'm gonna try to do it fast this time today though because takes forever to upload if it's very long. So at 8 at worst, Rocky 5. Rocky's beaten up. He freaking trains Tommy Gunn, and Tommy Gunn's a loser. And nothing is really good about that film. It's just hard to watch, and I really hate Rocky 5. Nobody I've ever known liked Rocky 5, if I'm being honest. Okay, that's Rocky 5. By the way, there's no good parts about Rocky 5 at all. Number 7, Creed. The first Creed, in my opinion, I think is the next one on the list. Creed is an okay film. It's about Apollo Creed's son, Adonis Creed. He's a cool character. I like that movie a lot. It's just that it's not really that great. It's okay. I like some of the parts. I like how Rocky trains him, and then he almost beats the champion, but he doesn't. At the end, he loses, as you know, as most Rocky movies are. That's how they are. Adonis is a cool character, and I do like him a lot in Creed 2, which we'll get to that soon. Number 6 for me is the original Rocky movie. It's not that great. A lot of people don't like it because, I mean, let's be honest. Sorry, I was swiping away text messages. Rocky is one of the few series that I know that the original is not as good as some of the others. It's kind of like Star Wars. The New Hope isn't as good as The Empire Strikes Back, as some people say. But yeah, Rocky 1, he's kind of like a hard guy that goes to and does things for this guy named Gazzo. What a name! And then he becomes a boxer, or he is a boxer already. And then he goes and fights Apollo Creed, who's the champion, and he loses by decision. He knocks Apollo down to the first punch, though. I mean, the storyline is pretty cool, but the fighting is eh. And yeah, the fighting's bad. There's the iconic scene where he drinks the eggs, but he's really unpopular in that movie, and it's not that great of a movie. Okay, next, for number 5, I think. That's 5? Yeah, because 5 was 8, Creed was 7, and Rocky 1 was 6. Okay, so this is number 5. Number 5 for me is Rocky Balboa. Rocky is really, really old, and he is not extremely old. He's probably like mid-40s to late 40s, and he fights the champion Mason Dixon. That's a good movie. I do like it. I do like how it shows that Rocky can still fight. That's the whole point of the last fight. It's not about Rocky winning and showing he can still be a champion. It's about Rocky proving that he can still fight. It's about Rocky, beating up people, proving that he's still got fight in him. He's not as young as he used to be, but he's still a good fighter. Mason Dixon just talks a lot of trash. He's kind of a jerk, but it's a good fight, and it's a good movie too. I recommend it. All right, number 4. Creed 2. I think. Did I miss something? No. Okay. My 4th favorite is Creed 2. Creed 2 is a great movie. It's the return of Ivan Drago and Ivan Drago's son, and the return of Adonis Creed. The first fight, or the beginning, that shows Adonis being trained by Apollo's old trainer, and the first time he fights Ivan Drago's son, he gets the snot beaten out of him, but he still remains the champion though because of a cheap shot. And then Rocky agrees to train him for the second fight, and then of course Adonis bounces back and beats the snot out of Ivan Drago's son, and yeah, Ivan Drago throws in the towel, which is really cool. Victor Drago is the son's name. And I really do like that movie. It's a good comeback story, like most Rocky movies are. It's kind of like Rocky 4. Well, it's actually identical to Rocky 4, basically. But that was the point. I really did like that film. Some people thought it was okay, but I thought it was a pretty good movie. But now we're moving on to the top 3, which I think is the top 3 best of all time. The top 3 best Rocky movies. I'm trying to keep this one really short, guys. I'm sorry. Most people don't even know who Rocky is. Well, a lot of people know who Rocky is. They just don't watch the movies. I only know a few people that actually know Rocky. or seen the movies. My third favorite, it's tough. I'm gonna have to go Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is a great movie. It's just like Creed 2. Ivan Drago is a maniac, and his punch is 1,850 pounds. Basically, anything he hits, he destroys. That's a quote from the movie. So anyway, he fights Rocky Balboa, he fights Apollo Creed, and Apollo taunts him and stuff. They're in America when they fight, and Ivan Drago literally kills him. He literally kills Apollo, Rocky's friend, and it's emotional. The story is great. I love the story. It's Rocky's revenge. He's like, I gotta beat him. I gotta fight him to get revenge for Apollo, and he does. He trains. He goes to Russia, since this fight's gonna be in Russia because that's where Ivan Drago's from, and he trains. And there's that iconic training sequence in the scene where he climbs the mountain and he just gets on top of it. He's like, Drago, like that. That's really cool. That's a cool scene. And then the fight is amazing. Ivan Drago absolutely just destroys Rocky. But then Rocky gets lucky. He hits Ivan Drago once, and it cuts him like right here, which makes him bleed, which means that area is going to hurt more. And then, of course, it goes to the final round. Ivan Drago basically won every single round except for maybe round 2, where it was when Rocky cut him. And Ivan Drago is so tired after not being knocked down once. Rocky knocks him down once, and he just doesn't get up. Even though Rocky got knocked down probably 10 times that fight. I mean, in real life, the refs would have called that way back in round 2 or round 1 even. But, yeah, even with 2,000-pound punch and drugs, literally he uses steroids, Rocky still wins. Rocky's determination is unmatched by anybody. All right, moving on to my second favorite, which is the second movie, Rocky 2. Rocky 2 is right after Rocky 1, and it's a billion times better than Rocky 1. It's at the very beginning. It shows Rocky and Apollo are both in the hospital together, and there's that great part when Rocky's just like, he rolls up in a wheelchair to Apollo in his bed, and he's like, Apollo, I just got to know, did you give it your best? Did you give me your best? And he said, I gave you my best. So that tells Rocky everything he needs to know, and then he starts getting ready for, the second fight. He marries a girl named Adrian, and they have a baby together, and they do get married, and it's a great movie. The Revenge of Rocky. There's the iconic thing where he climbs the stairs. He did that in the first movie, but this one's with all the kids, and everyone's surrounding him. They're all jumping up and down, all excited. And then, so, what happens is Rocky fights him. Apollo basically does what Ivan Drago did to Rocky. He beats him down to Chinatown, and Rocky does win a couple rounds, though, and then they both get so tired at the end. Now, see, Rocky's a left-handed man, and he's supposed to fight southpaw, but he fights orthodox, which is what the typical stance is, which most right-handers use, because that's the right-handed stance. But he fights orthodox. So then, in the last round of the fight, he switches to southpaw, which is the left hand, and he's a lot stronger on that side, and Apollo had no idea it was coming, and he just beat up Apollo in the last round. It was a pretty even round. I'd say maybe I'd give it to Rocky a little bit, but the end is when they both fall down together. They fall at the same time, and it's basically a race against time. Since Apollo's the champion, if Rocky gets up and Apollo stays down, he becomes the champion, but if they don't get up, neither of them get up, Apollo keeps the belt, but if Apollo gets up, then obviously he keeps it. So Apollo is trying to get up, and once the ref says 9, he's counting to 10, he says 9, Apollo just can't get up. So then it's up to Rocky. Rocky gets up at 10 on the dot, and he wins the belt, and he becomes the champion in the weirdest way ever. So that's Rocky 2. The storyline's great. And then Rocky 3 is my number 1 pick. I love Rocky 3 to death. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't like it. I probably don't like it as much as I do Revenge of the Sith, but I love Rocky 3. Clubber Lang, Mr. T, fights Rocky. Rocky is busy being kind of a franchise almost. He kind of sells out. There's a bunch of merchandise and things you can do about Rocky. While Clubber Lang is just beating people up, in the ring, and he trains while Rocky's just like, hey, I'm the champion, and then he starts becoming famous, So then when Rocky comes to fight Clubber Lang, at the time, who was beating people up, of course, Rocky gets his head just exploded, and then Apollo trains him for the second fight, but we'll get to that. So in between, you see Clubber Lang's like, yeah, I'm the champ, I'm the champ. He starts making fun of Rocky, and then Rocky does a charity match where he fights Thunder Lips. What a name, right? Thunder Lips, thunder like coming from the sky, lips, and then Rocky's like the best boxer, and then Thunder Lips is the champion of wrestling, and so it's a wrestling match for charity. It doesn't count for anything. They call it a tie. Thunder Lips was insane, and Rocky somehow tied with him, picked him up and slammed him. I guess that's why. And then all that went to charity, and then so Rocky trains with Apollo. The Thunder Lips fight happened before the first Clubber Lang fight, by the way. Rocky trains with Apollo, who he beat by 1 second, as I said in Rocky 2 just now. And Apollo helps him get ready for the Clubber Lang fight, and he beats Clubber Lang in the best boxing match I've ever seen. In the first round, Clubber Lang never punches him once. He misses Rocky every time, and Rocky just goes to town on Clubber Lang. Round 2, Clubber Lang freaking only throws a right hook, but it's so damaging and so loud that you could hear all of the pain coming from Rocky. And so he just knocks him down. He knocks Rocky down twice. He just destroys him. And then Rocky tries the most insane strategy ever in the third round, where he just like taps Clubber Lang on the head, and he's like, come on, punch me, come on, right in the face, and he hits him. He keeps making fun of him. He's like, hit me harder, which is, really making Clubber Lang waste all of his energy, and he gets so angry that he tries so hard to, sorry about that, he tries just so hard to beat up Rocky, and Rocky tires him out and finishes him off. And in typical Rocky fashion, he knocks him down once, and he doesn't get up, because that's just what Rocky does. And he becomes the champion again, and it's a great movie. Adrian is funny. Adrian's just a silly character. Most underrated character in Rocky, though, is definitely Paulie. Paulie's an underrated gem. And also Mickey, who gets murdered by Clubber Lang because he gets punched once. Those are two very underrated characters. Mickey was Rocky's trainer before Apollo, by the way. So, Rocky's a great series. I really recommend it. And, yeah, if you want to watch the best one, watch Rocky 3. Just don't waste your time with Rocky 5 unless you want to watch the whole series. Rocky 5 is just a terrible movie. Like, the gap between Rocky 5 and Creed is massive. Never watch Rocky 5. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I tried to make it like much shorter than the first one because the Star Wars ranking, because it takes so long to upload like videos for me that are like over 30 minutes or sometimes even under 30 minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on my next one, which will probably be ranking Friday the 13th movies. See you guys then.